This is Ashish Masih Cars, helping you buy better.
Budmo, as you might be aware by now, is the online expert in terms of spare parts. If you want a spare part for your vehicle, they have it in their list. They have the most extensive spare parts catalog, right from the most affordable small car to the top of the line luxury car, you name the car, and they have the spare parts for it. And the best point is that they have the spare parts from a host of different component makers and different price segments for the same spare part. So if you want to buy a cheaper part from a different maker or a more expensive part from a different component maker, they have the option for you. And they also promise you 10 days assured return without...
Hi guys, welcome back to Ashish Masih Cars. So today we'll be doing a detailed walk around of the 2021 Hyundai Creta E base variant. So this is not a conventional base variant of the Hyundai Creta, but instead this is a completely modified version of the Creta E and has been converted into something like the SX or the second top variant of the Hyundai Creta and has accessories installed worth rupees 1.5 lakh. A lot of buyers like to purchase the base variant of the car and modify and accessorize it according to their own whims and fancies. So this car is a perfect example of how you can actually modify your car into somewhat like the top end variant with genuine accessories. So there is no risk of the warranty getting void or any wire cutting issues, because this particular car has been modified by the dealer and hence it is a very unique proposition. So in this video we'll be talking about each and every accessory installed in this vehicle in detail, and I'll be telling you about the prices as well. So do stay tuned till the end of the video, because this can be useful for a lot of buyers who want to purchase this particular variant of the Hyundai Creta. So talking about the technical specifications of the Hyundai Creta and what the base variant, which is essentially the E variant, offers. So in terms of the engine options, you have two engine options mainly in this vehicle. So starting with the one which is standing in front of you, this is the 1.5 litre 4-cylinder MPI naturally aspirated petrol engine, which produces somewhat around 113 bhp of power and 144 Newton meters of torque. While the other engine option is a popular choice amongst buyers and is the 1.5 litre U2 CRDI diesel engine, which would also be offered on the elder sibling of the Creta, which is the upcoming Hyundai Alcazar. So this particular engine churns out about 115 bhp of power and 250 Newton meters of torque, and both engines have been mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. However, as you move up to the higher variants of this car, you also get the option of a 1.4 litre turbocharged TGDI petrol engine, but this being the base variant has only these two engine options as I've mentioned. Now moving forward into the video, you can have a look of how the Hyundai Creta actually looks. There has been no change in terms of the aesthetics if you compare it to the variant which was launched in the year 2020, but this car, specifically the E variant, has been getting a lot of updates lately. If we have a look at the key fob of this car, it is the conventional key fob, jackknife key fob, which has been seen on other Hyundai cars as well. So it is the same jackknife key. You get 3 buttons, mainly lock, unlock, and you get an option to unlock the boot as well. So these are the conventional buttons which have been offered. Now starting with the headlamp setup on this car, the projector headlamp setup from the base E variant has been retained, and you can have a look at the positioning lamps which have been offered in LED, but the change here is that the projector has now been installed with LED bulb, so that helps improve the brightness it creates at night. And here you can have a look at the fog lamps which have been installed. So the base variant does not have any kind of fog lamps as stock, but as an accessory you can have a look. These are the top end variant fog lamps which have been installed with LED bulbs. So the conventional fog lamps are based on halogens, but these are LED bulbs which have been installed. These also help create a brighter overview when you drive at night. And as mentioned, you can have a look at the projectors. They have been retained, but LEDs have been installed in these projectors to make them more efficient when you drive at night. So this is the headlamp overview. This particular modification, in our opinion, can be a very value for money option, because not everyone wants to install the top end tri-arrow beam LED headlamps. So that is a very value for money option. And here you can have a look at the grille. So this grille costs around rupees 10,800 rupees and has been borrowed from the top end variants of the Hyundai Creta. So you get this chrome finish and matte grey inserts. So this looks really premium and is a departure from the conventional matte black grille which has been offered on the Creta E base variant, which comes stock with the car. So this was all in terms of modifications done to the front fascia of this car. The car looks really fresh with the front grille which has been installed, which is the signature cascading effect grille offered on other Hyundai vehicles as well. Now alloy wheels is something many buyers look for in their vehicles, and this modification has also been done on this particular vehicle standing in front of you, and this really improves the stance of the car to a very large extent. But for this particular accessory you will have to shell out a slightly larger amount of money, since the base variant stock 16-inch rims have to be changed for the alloy wheels and the tire size has to be upgraded to a 17-inch profile. So hence these changes do cost a slightly large amount of money. Now let's just have a look at the alloy wheels. So these 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels look absolutely scintillating on this particular vehicle, but yes, you'll have to upgrade from the 16-inch tire size to 17 inches as I've mentioned before, and for that you'll have to shell out a larger amount of money. So in terms of dimensions of the tire, so these are 215/60R 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels which have been installed on this car, and as I've mentioned before, they really improve the side profile of this car and do create a very heavy stance. And well, moving on to the side profile of the vehicle, certain small accessories have only been installed on the side profile, not any major changes. So you can have a look. These are the sun visors which have been installed as well as the roof rails. So the roof rails do lend a slightly sporty as well as a rugged appeal to the vehicle. So they look really nice, and these don't come on the stock Creta E base variant, so you'll have to get them installed. The costing for the same is around rupees 6,500. Now moving on to the interiors of the vehicle, you can just have a look of how the door pad of the car actually looks. It comes in a dual tone plastic finish, so it lends that bit of airiness into the cabin, and these are the buttons for the ORVMs, but as I've already mentioned, these would be manually adjustable in the updated variants. But now moving on to the accessories installed, so there are a set of Infinity coaxials as well as Infinity components installed in the vehicle, since the base variant does not come with any speakers or infotainment system as such. So the seat can be height adjusted, so you get that function in the base variant, which is a good thing, and you can just have a look at the footwell as well. Now moving on to the interiors of this vehicle, so a lot of major changes have been made to the interiors. A lot of accessories have been installed over here which do improve the feel good factor of the vehicle. So let's start with the steering wheel itself. You get steering mounted audio controls over here. So the ones on the right do come on the base variant, but the ones related to the audio system of the vehicle have been installed, and this is something which can go wrong if you get it installed aftermarket. So getting it installed from the company itself may be a better idea for some buyers. So having a look at how the instrument cluster as well as the infotainment system lights up over here, so there is no reason to complain in terms of the cabin lighting of the vehicle. Now let's start with the steering mounted audio controls on the steering wheel itself. So you get a D-cut flat bottom steering wheel, but coming to the main aspect over here, the steering mounted audio controls feel really premium and are just like the buttons offered on the higher trims of the vehicle. So it feels really premium and is a completely OEM accessory, so no issue on that part as well. The button quality is good. The plastic quality overall in the interior is also top notch. So we have seen in Hyundai vehicles the build quality in terms of the interior plastics is absolutely phenomenal in most of the vehicles, so that has been carried on over here on the Hyundai Creta as well. On the left we get the wiper related stocks, and on the right we get the toggles for the headlamps. No auto headlamps or rain sensing wipers have been offered on this variant whatsoever, and the multi-information display is also pretty detailed, and we do get n number of customizable options over here, including the settings for the lights, etc. So there are a lot of customizable options offered in the multi-information display of the vehicle as well. Now moving on to the center console of the vehicle, this is something which is quite attractive and will be a very important accessory which most buyers will end up installing in their vehicle, which is a mega audio Android player. So there are a number of Android players available in the market, and this will vary from dealer to dealer, but this is an Android player which is approximately 10 inches in size. We don't have the exact dimensions of the screen, but yes, it is around 10 inches and covers almost the whole frame which has been offered and looks pretty good. So this does have all the connectivity features which you would want in any vehicle, and a USB option has been offered as well, which I'll just show you in a few minutes. But navigation and Bluetooth audio streaming, etc., you get a ton of connectivity features on this infotainment system. Now moving on to the lower end of the center console, you get manual controls for the AC. So the plastic quality around this patch could have been slightly better. The plastics do feel slightly tacky around this patch. So that is something where Hyundai can improve surely. And if we just move slightly below, we get a 12-volt charging socket as well as a storage compartment. So in terms of storage capacity, this vehicle scores a pretty good number. And the gear knob of this vehicle is something you really like, because you get a very good chamfered touch, a laminated finish over here, and it feels really premium. And you have a reverse parking camera installed on this vehicle with the infotainment system. It's integrated well, and the quality levels of the screen are also pretty decent, so there is no issue in that aspect. This feels really good and premium, and is pretty good in terms of grip to hold as well. An armrest has been offered here with a cubbyhole space, so this makes the cabin practical, and the armrest itself feels quite solid. Now something the base variant of the Hyundai Creta misses on is this sunglass holder assembly with the reading lamp. So this has been installed over here as an accessory, and the reading lamps which are a part of this assembly are halogen based. And now talking about the glove box compartment, this does offer decent space, but yes, the cool glove box feature has now been removed from the base variant of the Hyundai Creta. This is the USB output which does come with the Mega Audio Android player. So this has been taken out from here, so you can play music as well as videos using your USB device. So that has been placed in the glove box of the vehicle. The cabin overall feels quite premium. The color tones used are pretty good, and they do feel plush as well. The plastic qualities, as I mentioned before, does feel quite good and solid, and there are no panel gaps or any cons or nitpicking I can do as such when I sit in the vehicle. So the rear seating experience of any vehicle does make a lot of difference to the consumer. So this is how the rear door of the vehicle looks. You get the same dual tone plastics over here which do feel pretty nice and solid. You get power windows as well. So in terms of equipment, this variant does not lack a lot, and all the basic necessary equipment has been offered over here. You get a decent storage compartment over here on the door. But the real truth about the comfort of the vehicle lies in the rear seating experience, and that is what we are going to talk about over here. So the front seat is set to my height. My height is about 5 feet and 10.5 inches, and this is the amount of knee room which I have on offer. So the front seat has been set to my driving position, and this is how much space I have on offer. In terms of knee room, the car scores pretty well and is better than the Kia Seltos, but even in terms of under-thigh support, the car scores pretty well. This is how the cabin looks from the rear end. The cabin feels quite airy, and you do get fixed headrests over here. Unfortunately, there is no use of adjustable headrests, which is something which could have been offered and is a slight miss. You get a reading lamp here as well, so that is another good point which I would like to appreciate. Let's move on to the rear end of the car now. The rear end of this particular vehicle has not been accessorized to a very large extent, because Hyundai genuine accessories do not offer a lot of customizable options if we talk about the rear end of the car specifically. But let's have a look at the tail lamps over here. You do get the signature tri-split tail lamps over here. You get a slightly thinner LED strip as compared to the higher variants, but you do get LED combination tail lamps. However, the bulbs installed over here on the tail lamp setup are halogen. So these are the LEDs, but you do get a set of halogen bulbs here as well. So since the tail lamp setup is completely stock, you do get the use of halogen bulbs over here to a very large extent. Moving on to the rear bumper, you do get a reverse lamp offered over here, so you can have a look. That is also based on halogens, and a small reflector strip has been offered. You get 4 parking sensors stock on this car from the base variant, but the reverse parking camera, which you can see, has been installed as an accessory. The brake stop lamp has been offered over here, but unfortunately there is no use of any rear wiper or defogger on this vehicle. you get a Creta embellishment. And let's just access the boot space over here, which is one of the highlights of this vehicle. We get a pretty large 433 litre boot space on this vehicle, and a parcel tray can be installed over here as well for a cost of rupees 3000. But overall the boot sill is negligible, so it becomes very practical. And you also get the option of folding your seats, so you get a bench folding seat option, which does allow you to extend your boot space to quite an extent. The spare wheel, which is essentially a 16-inch tire, has been placed below the boot bed. As you can see, you get a Kumo tire, but the size remains 16 inches and not 17 inches because this car has accessories installed, which are these 17-inch alloy wheels. So this was all about the rear end of this car. We don't have a lot of accessories or external modifications done to this end of the vehicle. So guys, this was all for this video. This vehicle does have accessories worth 1.5 lakh rupees installed. The exact pricing as well as list for which would be flashing on the screen. You may refer to this list for any modifications you would like to do on your vehicle. So thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe to our channel Ashish Masi Cars, and do not forget to like this video and also comment on your suggestions below in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video.